I'm Daphne from Daps Makeup, and I am excited to talk about the new fall collection from Dior. This Dior collection, we're going to call it the Miss Dior collection. It has this whole Miss Dior motif, and I bought several items from the collection. I got one of the eyeshadow palettes, I got one of the lippies, and I did get two of the nail polishes. All right, so I'm gonna break down the items that are in the collection. I'll quickly go over the items that I didn't get and might let you know why I didn't get them, and then we'll dive deep into the items that I did get. So let's get started. All right, so let's first talk about the eyeshadows briefly. So there were 3 eyeshadow palettes that came with the collection. I got the one called Shocking Pink. Don't worry, I'll take this out of the case. I did several looks with it. I will show you looks, swatches, comparisons, all that jazz. But there were 2 palettes that I did not get. So I'll put them on the screen, and forgive me if I'm looking down at my phone, but there's one called Wild Beige. Now that one I passed on because the colors looked very light, and I've seen swatches, and I just think on my skin tone they wouldn't really pop. These colors were just not speaking to me. You know, no shocker, but any beige themed makeup items generally are not going to be best suited for me. Now, Bold Black, that palette I was really considering. I mean, like, I really thought that was the one that I was going to go with. If you know me, I love green, so they have that one minty green color in this palette that just spoke to me. Had some pretty other neutral to cool colors. The one matte's a black. Now, I don't need another black matte, to be honest. So that wasn't exciting, but I was kind of interested in the others. But they were all going to be shimmers. I like, you know, face value, the color story. When I started seeing some swatches and early reviews, just looking at the swatches, it didn't seem as pigmented as I might have hoped, and so I'm not sure if it would pop the way that I would like it to pop. And I was watching another content creator, and I don't know, but I think her channel might be kind of focused on, you know, looking at collections and kind of convincing yourself, do you really need it? Maybe kind of look towards other products that you might have already in collection to almost like, you know, convince yourself why you don't need it. And in this case, it kind of worked because she made me remember a Tom Ford palette that I have. This was limited edition, it's discontinued, but if you own this, this is actually one of my absolute favorite palettes from Tom Ford. This is Soleil et Lune. And as you can see, it has a minty green shade. It has these 3 shades look very similar to the shades in the Dior, and then instead of black, you know, it has this cool gray color. I love these, and I will tell you, this, I have a feeling that this actually has better shine and sparkle than the one from Dior. So just try to convince myself, you know what, you don't need that palette. Why don't you enjoy it and go back and remember your Tom Ford? So I decided not to get it. So I ended up going with Shocking Pink. As I started watching, like I said, some swatches and some early reviews, it actually made me feel like out of the 3, this was going to be the most pigmented of the 3. And you know, so that was a big emphasis for me. And actually, I started getting more intrigued by the brown because as I started seeing the swatches, I was like, oh, you know what? I don't think it's a flat brown, but maybe there could be some pink sparkle to it. There's, you know, that this might be a special kind of palette. So I gave in. So I ended up getting this palette. Most of this video is going to be really deep delve into this eyeshadow palette. So let me just quickly go over the lipstick products and the nail polishes, and then we will come back around to this. So don't worry, we're going to have a big focus on this particular palette. Okay, so in terms of lipsticks, there were 2 different types of lipsticks that they came out with. One trio set, and you can buy them individually, but there were 3 that came in their velvet finish. In the shade Shocking Pink, Icon Velvet, and Nude Look. And they're tempting, you know. It was kind of cool. They have the Miss Dior embossing on the lipstick. The actual case, there's nothing special to it, so it's just going to be on the lipstick itself. So obviously when you totally use up the lipstick, you know, it's not like you have a case to look at in terms of the embossing. They're pretty shades, and you know, I thought about it and I could have worked with those shades certainly. But I decided to go with their other formula instead because I just really like that. And then I was like, you know what, one lipstick is enough for me. So although it was tempting, I passed on those 3 lipsticks. So then there's also 3 lipsticks that are in their Addict Lip Shine formula, which if you know me, I love that formula. Honestly, I have 8 or 10 of these at this point. Yes, I'm a sucker for the cases, and I fell for the case for these, but I do actually like the lipstick formulas, and so whenever they come out with a new lipstick case and new lipstick formula shade, I always end up getting at least one of them. So no change here. That was like, I knew for sure I was going to get one of them. So there's 3 shades. There's one, I think it's called Shocking Pink. Another one, which is more of like a nude. And then this one is called Bold Black. When I saw the shade, I was like, have to get it. Have to get it. When I see a deep shade like this, it's a must. It's a must. I'm just getting a little closer so you can see it on my lips because I do have it on my lips right now. And so as you can see, it's not black, okay? I would call it more of a blackberry in terms of the shade. It's the same great formula. It's moisturizing, easy to use, beautiful shine. So I just apply another layer. So it's sheer, right? It's not the same as a matte lipstick. That's never the intention. But I love it. You know, it's a gorgeous color. Love the feel. I love these, and the case is cool. Like, you know, this whole motif, this Miss Dior motif, contemporary, very different from the kind of cases that they've been coming out with lately. So it is a little bit of departure, but it's good that they're keeping us on their toes. So, you know, it's, you know, and there's basically a nude tone, a black tone, and a pink tone for everything, you know, when it comes to the eyeshadow cases, when it comes to lipstick cases. I think they also have cases for the cushion, for their cushion foundation. Once again, Dior never comes out with a shade that works for me, because otherwise I would so get it whenever they come out with these cushion cases. I always want to get it, but if I can't buy the foundation, what's the point? So that's, you know, obviously, unfortunately, a pass. And I see that they're promoting some eyeliners, I believe. I'm not sure if those are new shades, though. Or they're just picking eyeliner shades that are already existing that I think goes well with the eyeshadows. And then the last category is nail polishes. And that also has 3 shades for the nail polish. So in terms of the nail polishes, there are 3 colors. Now I got 2 of them. And these are the 2 that I got. So the third one that I did not get is called Wild Beige. But I got the Bold Black and I got the Shocking Pink. And so this are the colors, and yes, I have them on my nails, and I put both of them. So for fun, I did alternating, and I just think this is such a fun nail look. You know, I will say, you know, I had a question about this when I posted my unboxing shorts. If you haven't already watched, looking at the picture, and it might be hard to see here, but you would have seen in the pictures, you know, when you're looking at the bottle, when the light hits it, you can almost feel like there's like this pink sheen in here. And that was one thing, you know, when I saw advertisements of that, that was another reason why I was kind of interested in getting this, thinking, okay, it's not a plain black, that there's going to be like a little bit of pink. I have to say, on my nails, to me, I'm really just seeing black, to be honest. I'm not really seeing any pink. There's certainly no glitter or anything. Beautiful shine to them. But it's just a plain black. In my opinion. So, you know, that was a little bit of disappointment. And for those who might have been hoping there's some pink to this, it's not. It's just straight black. Now, I don't mind, because actually I don't own a black nail polish. So for me, it's still cool because I don't own a straight black nail polish. And then with the shocking pink color, which I didn't know if I was going to get it, but I ended up getting it. But I'm happy I did. I'm usually not someone who does tends to wear a lot of red or pink nail polish, but this shade, I like it. This kind of hot pink shade, it's just fun and pretty. This is, I don't know, it's the kind of pink that I like, you know, not too pinky and not too red. I don't know. There's just something about the shade that I like. So I'm not going to say these are revolutionary colors. Can you get a more affordable drugstore brand nail polish and get these colors? Certainly. And I'm not going to act like, oh my God, the formula is so amazing that it's so much better than drugstore. I wouldn't say that. But I'm not disappointed because I do like these colors. I don't have anything in my collection of these colors. And I do just like the Dior formula in general. So it was just fun to have them. But you know, I'm not going to go like, oh my God, you have to get Dior. But I don't know. I'm a sucker for luxury nail polishes. I do my own nails. I don't get my nails done. These are my natural nails. And so that's my little bit of luxury, to do my own nails and use luxury nail polishes. So that's just my thing. So that's my thoughts. Nail polishes, fun colors, great shine. Lipstick, always. I will always, you know, promote the Dior Addict Lip Shine formula. But now let's talk about the eyeshadows, because I really want to focus now this rest of the video to this palette. So let's talk. One more thing before we talk about the eyeshadow palettes, just coming back to the unboxing. You know, I've been doing this a lot where I post my unboxing of Dior, just because when I buy from Dior, I have to say they have the best loyalty program out of all the luxury brands. Like, they're the only ones that I get a lot of great freebies. Some things are like things that you get with a code. So, and these codes come up a lot. So spend an X amount of dollars, use this code, get this little thing. But the other thing is, if you're part of a loyalty program, every so often you'll get, you qualify for loyalty gifts, whether it be because it's your birthday, because you moved up to the next status, in, you know, are you gold or you platinum, that kind of thing. And then just periodically throughout the year, you get to also get loyalty gifts. And I'm not even quite sure, like what's, like how much you have to spend or whatever, but like all of a sudden you'll just notice if you check your account, they'll be like, you're now eligible to get this loyalty gift. And then and like when I heard there was a new loyalty gift that came out, I went on my account, saw I was eligible, and I think I had to make a purchase by September. So that was another, and they don't tell you have to spend a specific amount. I don't even know if I had to even spend it all, but you have to redeem within a certain time frame. But of course, like, I guess I have to purchase something, I guess, to redeem. But it's not like they gave me a specific price point to do that. All I just want to say, because the gift that I got this year, that came in this box, a lot of people, I got messaged from when I was posting on Instagram, like they were like so excited about this gift, and so was I. So what'd you get? A lot of times they love to give a little Miss Dior fragrance bottle. So just if you want to see this, so this they give out like all the time. You know, so I've collected a lot of these, to be honest. But the cool gift was this. So this, the current loyalty gift right now, you zip this open and it's a little jewelry box case. So it's a box, but inside it's almost like a little sack, and so you can hold your jewelry in here, and then you can close it up here. You can also place some items here. And so this is so cute. Like, I'm going to be traveling soon, and actually I might be actually putting my jewelry in here, or just even going forward just at home. I'm certainly going to use it. I swear their loyalty gifts, I really do. With my last Dior purchase, I had gotten this loyalty gift, or I think this might have been one of those gift for purchase. I forget. I don't know. But I will tell you, I use this all the time. Like, it's a legitimate bag or purse, whatever you, like, I legit use this, and it's not like some flimsy, you know, makeup bag that you never use or something. This, they get really good gifts. This time, and I haven't used this yet, I got this, and I think what it is, it's to go on your phone. It has like, you know, those little suction cups. So I think that I would attach to my phone on one end, and then the other side could attach like to the wall, to the mirror. So like if I wanted to film for you guys using my phone, I think I could use it that way. So yeah, I'll test it out later. I'll have to get back to you. I just haven't bothered to take it out, but just want to remind you guys, if you buy through their website and you join their program, you can get a lot of cool gifts for purchases and loyalty gifts. All right, enough talking. Let's talk about the palette. So I have been doing several looks for the last few days. If you've been following me on Instagram, Daps_makeup. And so what I've been liking to do with you guys is just kind of quickly go over some of the looks that I've done, that I've posted. And then I'll show you a demo video of the look that I have currently. Now, the look that I have currently on my eyes is very similar to the look, my first look that I posted on Instagram. And I chose to recreate this one because this is the look where it really showcases all the shades in the palette. So I just thought that would be the best to do as a demo video for you. So this look is very similar to that look. It might be just maybe a slightly bit bolder than how it was the first time I did it, especially because this time I added more of the pink on the lower lash line, and I think I just went a little bit more heavy-handed with the pink and the brown in my transition. But yeah, you know, so I won't go too much into this look, but I just think it's great just because you get to see a little bit of all the shadows. So watch the demo video and then you can really see. But yeah, so basically my transition, I have these two shades on the lid. I have this shade, these two are in the inner corner. And that's kind of the essential of the look. But let me show you some other looks that I did where I didn't necessarily use all 5 shades. So this, my second look, I had a lot of fun. This is one where I was trying to kind of recreate a look that they have on their website because I just really love the look. Obviously, we're different skin tones, so it's not going to be exactly the same. And it's my interpretation, so it's not the exact same. But I did the general concept where for this one, I wanted, and I didn't want to put the pink in my transition like I did before. So I really went more with the brown. I put one of the, I think I put like this shimmer in the center, but the big thing was then in the inner corner, I put the pink. I think I snuck a little bit of this one in the inner corner, but this was in the inner third. So it was kind of cool having the more neutral tones on the outer and then the pink on the inner corner, and that was just like a fun look to do. But as you can kind of tell from that look, you know, if you take away the pink that was in the inner corner, it's a very neutral look. So for the next look, I decided to do one where I didn't use the pink at all. So for that look, you know, if you see, if I use everything but the pink, it's actually a really neutral, cool palette. So just keep that in mind. If you remove the pink, it's a neutral palette. You know, the pink is what gives a pop of color. So it's up to you. You can go neutral without the pink, or you can add the pink to give a little bit of fun to. I will give you a heads up. My favorite 2 shades out of this whole palette is the pink and the brown because they are the most pigmented out of all the shadows. So for the following look, what I did was I did a look where I emphasized on just these 2. So I did this deeper brown on this half of my eye, and then I did the pink on the inner half of my eye. I think in the inner corner ended up sneaking in these 2, but I wanted the emphasis on for most of my eyes to be these 2 shades, and that was actually a cool look. And honestly, I haven't done it yet, but I feel confident that I could probably just do like a one and done just with this brown shade, especially if I was just kind of running out the door and didn't have a chance to do a full out makeup look. I could just do this. You know, I might be able to pull off one and done with the pink, but I think this would be a great one and done. Kind of equivalent to if you just want to put like bronzer on your eyes, it would work just the same. But I do want to show you how I created this eye look. It was a lot of fun. It incorporated all the shadows. So watch this demo video, see how this look came together. And then I will give you my opinion on the formula of this eyeshadow. And then I also want to compare it to talk about some other eyeshadow palettes that I have from Dior, just to kind of sum up this whole collection. All right, so for this look, I'm gonna be incorporating these two products. The rest of my face is essentially a Dior face. But yeah, we're gonna start with the eyes and end with the lips. Here's a close-up of the eyes and the lips. Here's a final look. Gotta run. Talk to you soon. Okay, I hope you found that video helpful. So yeah, I've been making several looks throughout the week. I think I've actually had more fun with the palette than I thought I would, which is a good sign. But yeah, I still have some opinions. I'm not gonna pretend like this is the perfect eyeshadow either. So let's just first start with the outside, because let's be honest, what is going to attract most people to buying these palettes? It's the packaging. I took the eyeshadow palette out of the sleeve, but I wanted to show you the sleeve itself. So this is what you're really paying, because you're paying extra, by the way. The price of a normal Dior palette versus the price of one of these, yeah, there's definitely a difference in price. I'll show the prices on the screen, but you're basically paying for this pouch, because the normal one would come with no pouch, and so you're paying extra for this sleeve. Now, I thought I'd bring out this palette that I have from last year's collection, not to compare the shadows, because this palette is completely different. It'd be maybe more in line, closer to the bold black palette from this year. But I wanted to compare the sleeves. So I'm going to just take this one off. So it's the same kind of concept. It is good quality. I will say, having them both in my hand, this one from last year's is more sturdier. The quality of this did go down compared to this. It's still cool. Like I still actually like it and it's fun. But if you could feel that there's more lining to you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm telling you, I can feel it. The lining on this, like this feels like there's an extra lining. Like if there's like one lining, this is like got two. So this is definitely sturdier. It feels like it's going to hold its shape more on its own. Where this one, like without the palette inside, it doesn't hold its shape as much. It's holding it, but like it's just very sturdy. Like this feels really more sturdier than this one. Just saying. Obviously the vibes in terms of the artwork is completely different. This is, it's obviously very different, and this is very, like I said, contemporary, modern, that kind of thing. So totally departure. A lot of times they use much more artistic, sophisticated artwork, and then this is, like I said, more modern and contemporary. So this might not also be for everybody in terms of the vibe, but I still kind of like it. I to have different vibes. I mean, I love this one, but it's still kind of cool to have the both vibes. So this is cool, but I will say the quality of this is down from the one from last year. Now, I do want to compare it from another palette that I got earlier this year, because there are some similarities. Picking this palette from this collection actually is kind of a reminder of this pink palette that I got earlier this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch this one for you so you can see what this year, the fall collections palette looks like. But I'm also gonna swatch this one. I'm gonna compare the two, so in case you got this one, to answer your question, like, do you need this one if you already got this one? And then I'm also gonna give you my overall thoughts about these shadows, because there's some that I really like, and then some that are just and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna start with the pink. It's a nice soft in swatch as well. So this is the pink, you know, so it shows up on me, you know. Is it the most pigmented matte that I've ever had? No, but I guess you can only expect so much from a luxury brand, if we're gonna be honest. Now let me go to this brown shade. So the pink is really the only matte that you have, but even though this is more of a satin, but this still works in my transition well. And I don't know if it comes through, but like you can see, it's a brown, but it has a bronziness to it, but also has a coolness to it. It's not a flat brown. Depending on the lighting, it does actually have some pinkiness to it. So there's a pink in there. It's not a flat brown. So I really love the shade. I'm going to tell you, this is my favorite shade, number 1 and number 2. But yeah, I love that. Now we're gonna go into the lighter brown, or I don't know, tan or tan, whatever. So you can see much lighter than this shade right there. Kind of done like the 2 satins. Now I'm gonna go into this deeper pink shade. This is more of a shimmer. And I'm gonna go into this last one here, which is more of a topper. I mean, they're both kind of topperish, to be honest, but this is really like a topper, and this is kind of shimmer slash topper. So these are the shades. Let me swatch the other palette. Let me just tell you my comparison about those palettes, and then I'm gonna just end giving my overall thoughts of the quality of these eyeshadows. Going into the pink on that one, just so you can compare the pinks. So you can see it's definitely different. So the pink from the current palette is definitely much deeper, more pigmented. And it's more of a true matte, where this one is not like a true matte in the same sense. So they're definitely different formulas and different pigmentation there. The deepest shade in this palette would be this one. And it's kind of more like a burnt orange. This is more matte, so this is the most pigmented shade in that palette. So definitely different color story there. Even this one, this is an orange. So these 2 shades are definitely different color stories, but I'll just swatch them anyway, just so that you could see it. But as you can see, this is more of an orange. Now we do have more pinky shimmers here. So we have this one. It's kind of similar to like this kind of thing, that kind of frosty pink. And then we have this shade here, which is kind of like a mauve pink, kind of similar to this one, kind of. What I will say, you know, question like, if you have this one, do you need this one? The difference with this one in particular is that it has these 2 shades that kind of lean more orange. So the interesting thing about this palette, even though I know the emphasis is on the pinks, it's kind of like half pink, half orange. So it's a palette where, you know, it's more of an orange pink palette, where this one is a pink, but then the rest, and gotcha, it's like pink, and then you have more cool tone brown shades here. So it's brown over brown pink. So the color story is different. What I will say is, talking about the current palette, my favorite 2 shades are these 2, and you can tell why. These are the most pigmented. It's a saving grace for this palette. That's what I love is about these 2. Now in terms of these are not the greatest shimmers. They're just not. They're not that shimmery. They're kind of powdery. You know, I mean, they're bringing some brightness to my eyes. So it's doing something. It is. But they're not that special to me in terms of shimmers. So like I said, it's really these 2 shadows that are making the palette. So these 3, I mean, I'm happy that in a sense that they're there, because you want to have more than just those 2. You need something to offset and it gives some brightness, but the quality is much better for these two than it is these three. So I will say that much. I mean, to be honest, in a perfect world, maybe like between these two palettes, what I would do is I would take the two deeper shades here from this palette, and then like combine it with some of those shades over here. Like I would take 2 from here, 3 from there, and that would be my perfect palette, to be honest. So, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, with this palette, you are paying extra for the case. So you better really want the the cover, because that's what you're paying for. I won't say that I'm mad that I got the palette, because I actually like all the eye looks that I've been creating with the palette. But I will say thank God for these 2 shades. It's really about these 2 shades. They're just there. These ones are just there to support, but this is the workhorse of the palette. So you better love the pink, and you better love that brown shade, because that's really the saving grace for this palette. So yeah, you know, like I said, absolutely love the lipstick. I would say definitely get that. The nail polishers are fun. The eyeshadow is cute. Out of all the eyeshadow brands that I own, I will not say that Dior has my favorite formula. I don't feel like their formula is as good as it was a few years ago. They really are hit or miss in terms of the formula, but they get us with the packaging. That's the one thing about them. They get us with the packaging. They always have a cool art story with their products. So, you know, you just have to decide, is it worth paying the extra bucks, you know, for the artistic, you know, designs. But yeah, so, you know, shadows, they're all right. So, you know, and as long as you love the color story, then, you know, then it might be worth it. But yeah, that's it. So that is the Miss Dior collection. I think it's cute. I wouldn't call it shocking. It's a pretty pink, but it's not like, oh my God, the boldest pink. These are not the boldest shadows to be calling bold black and shocking pink. It's a cute pink. These are cute black, cute browns, that kind of thing. All right. But yeah, that's the end of my thoughts on this collection. Thanks for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel, and also follow me on Instagram, Daps_makeup. Otherwise, I'll see you next time when I show you what else has come into my collection. But until then, have a great day. Bye.